महाराज आज रात्रि अपनी आवाज में तो विशेष दरकार এখানে আমার করতে হবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, আমার জবা কুসুম তেলটি মানে আমি পাচ্ছি না, অরুণ মহারাজ ওরা অনলাইনে ভালো
দরকার নেই। অদ্বৈত আশ্রম আজ ড্রাইভার এসেছিল, আমি ওকে পিওর আমলা তেলের পেটা দিয়ে দিয়েছি, ওরা পাঠাবে। সুধীর মহারাজ আমাকে পার্মানেন্টলি বললেন যে তোমার সবকিছু আমার কাছে নেবে।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে।
ओम जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरया तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। We are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the 3rd chapter we read up to Shloka 20, but because of a particular doubt, I consulted other sources, and that doubt has not gone, but I got some more information. I had two doubts. One doubt was, what about Dasharatha, Janaka, when Parshurama has done the Kshatriya Priti for 21 times? So that answer I got. He did not do Nakshatriya Prithvi at all. There was Sahasra Bahu, Kshatriya, and he belonged to Haya Vamsha, and they were enemies of Brahmin. So he had nothing to do with other Kshatriyas, nothing to do. Not only Janaka or Dasharatha, wherever there were Kshatriyas, he left them. Nothing to do at all. Somehow it has come 21 times in Kshatriya Prithvi. So only that Haya Vamsha or Sahasrabahu's dynasty he killed 21 times. But that doubt remained again. If he has killed the whole dynasty, where from he gets second time? How he can kill anything 21 times? That answer I'm not getting anywhere. So we have to guess that some unborn children may have been there in mother's wombs. So they will again become their dynasty. He will kill them. So some seeds are there which grow and he kills them. That is our guesswork. Explanation we did not get. But all Nakshatriyas he never did. So that answer I got. That if you read the Shastras, Ramayana and Mahabharata, both are clearly telling when Parshuram accosts Rama after Sita Swayamvar, he tells that I have killed Sahasrabahu, I have killed Haya Vamsha Kshatriyas 21 times. He himself has told that clear. So question of other Kshatriyas, somehow, even in the Bhagavad, Avatare Shodashame Pashyan Brahma Druho Nrupan, here we had interpreted that those Kshatriyas which were inimical to Brahmins. Brahma Druho Nrupan. Tri Sapta Krutva Kupito Nikshatram Akaron Mahim. Nikshatram Aparon has to be tempered according to Brahma Druho Nrupan Pashyan. So only those who were enemies of Brahmin, them he killed. Them he made Prithvi Nikshatriya. And now we have to understand in supplement that only that's because Brahmins and Kshatriyas lived in peace, supporting each other in ancient India.
Yes.
So there was no sense, and he has taught that also where Pandit Anomaly. He has taught Bhishma.
Yes.
Yes, Bhishma is a Kshatriya, out and out. But Bhishma was never inimical to Brahmins. So all the facts taken together, that doubt still remains, and we have to guess our own answer to that, that some seeds might be remaining, and when they grow, he kills again. Krishna fighting with Jarasandha 18 times. That is a different story. He would never kill Jarasandha. He would kill all the forces of Jarasandha and leave Jarasandha. And he has explained that to Balram. Balram wanted to kill Jarasandha. He said, no, all the evil people will come to our door and then we shall kill them. Jarasandha will take revenge. He will gather all evil people and come to attack us. So he need not go in search of evil people. They will be available at our door and we shall kill. Therefore, I am not killing Jarasandha. So there he has explained. But this is a different case. Sahasrabhahu has killed. So we have to interpret in our own way that some seeds, either as I said, in the womb of their mothers, and when they become again grown up, he kills them again.
He had thousands hands. He had 1,000 hands. Sahasrabhahu.
And that is the name, Sahasrabhahu.
No.
Sahasrabhahu was a king. Now by his name we are guessing 1,000. Somebody might have named him Sahasrabhahu. We have no other source to know that. Or he may have 1,000 bahus.
He was killed by Parshuram and his family.
He was killed only once. How he can kill him again and again?
No, he and his family. And his...
Sahasrabhahu was hating Brahmins. He was enemy of Brahmins.
Oh, he killed only...
And that we got somewhere, na? He killed Parshurama's father.
Oh,
Sahasrabhahu killed Parshurama's father. And in that revenge, Parshurama killed him. And not only killed him, but his destiny, his what we call dynasty, he killed 21 times. And that he himself is mentioning clearly in Valmiki Ramayana. That I have killed Haihaya Vangsha Kshatriyas 21 times. Now, Haihaya has something to do with a horse, and we need not go into that. What is that? But there is a Kshatriya dynasty named Haihaya Vangsha. And Sahasrabhahu belonged to that dynasty, or he was the chief of that dynasty. And he killed Parshurama's father. What Vivekananda says? He's not getting anything. You are not getting any sound? কি বলছে?
Sound পাচ্ছে না.
But nobody else has done that. And there is everything is clear here. I have not made any mistake also. I got this figure. Let me check up if anybody else is telling like that. Some others are there. No, Vivekananda only. Shall I check up with somebody else? Sound is okay. Other messages come, sound is okay. Okay. So Vivekananda is not getting what we can do. Anyway, so understood. Avatare Shodashame Pashyan Brahma Druho Nrupan. Nrupan means kings, means Kshatriyas. Tri Sapta Kritva Kupito Nikshatram Akarot Mahim. Mahim Prithvi. He did Prithvi Nikshatriya 21 times, 3 Sapta. So our concept, my concept at least, of whole Nikshatriya is wrong. Because somebody is pointed out in that Kora that he has himself said, Haihaya Vangsha Kshatriyas I have killed 21 times. So that is all. How 21 times, that doubt remains. And that we have to guess. That some seeds remain here and there. Or as just now I said, children in mother's womb. Now killing a womb, child in the womb, is the heinous crime in Hinduism. So he will not do that. But they will come out, they will grow, then of that same dynasty. So I will kill them again. That is our guesswork, because we are not finding any other solution. Okay? Now, in this connection, some more things I will tell now. Not directly related to this. As I said, Brahmins and Kshatriyas lived together in that connection. What could be the ideal government? At any time, rulership Brahmins cannot do. Rulership is always Kshatriyas. But thinking, advising what to do is always Brahmins. So what is the solution? Two examples I find. One is Dasharatha, continued by Rama. 8 Brahmins were Dasharatha's ministers. And on their advice, Dasharatha used to act. And that is the best solution. Kshatriya ruling, but advice of Brahmins. And Rama continued that.
বশিষ্ঠ মুনি মন্ত্রিসভায় ছিলেন। বশিষ্ঠ মুনি
Vasishtha was the chief among the 8. Chief priest. Rama's guru was Vasishtha. But kingdom was ruled with the help of 8 ministers. And all types, you know. All types means a Nastika name.
Nastika Brahmin.
Brahmin. That is that, what we call Charvak philosophy. So he wanted all types of philosophies to advise him. And then he would draw the Nishkarsha.
So Charvak was in that ministry.
There was a great sage. I just forget his name now. He was telling Rama, don't go to forest. Wrong it is. You must rule. But Rama did not listen to him. So you need not listen to a particular man, but all of them will put their arguments. And the king should draw his conclusion. That was Dasharatha's kingdom. Okay. Second example I found, Shivaji in Maharashtra followed the same thing. He appointed 8 Brahmins as his ministers. 8. Old figure only. And ministries, that is, Dasharathas were advisors. Shivaji had different ministries given to these Brahmins. Some in charge of money, some revenue, like that, land reform, all different departments given to 8 Brahmins. You know, little Maratha history. Shivaji had 2 sons. And Sambhaji, by somebody's mistake, he was killed. And Rajaram was not so influential.
He was killed by Aurangzeb, no? He was killed by Aurangzeb. Sambhaji? Sambhaji was killed by Aurangzeb.
By some mistake, I am telling. Who killed is not important. There was his advisor, he wrongly advised him, something happened and he was killed. And Rajaram was not so capable. So the Brahmin ministers became the king. Peshwa. They are called Peshwa. What is the meaning of Peshwa? One word you might be hearing. Peshi clerk, have you heard? Peshi clerk? Head clerk. One who takes the paper for signature of the Sahib is called Peshi clerk. So Peshwa means...
Peskar in Bengali. Peskar we used to hear. Peskar.
I know Peshi clerk. So that is Peshwa. They became the rulers. And when big wars were there, at a time, no ruler and these Brahmins together managed the kingdom. But then Brahmins becoming Kshatriyas, it led to downfall. Some Brahmins were great warriors, but story is there. Last Peshwa, the report came that Muslims have come and they are attacking. He said, we shall all sit in puja, nobody will touch us. When a Brahmin is doing puja with a different dress, people do not touch him. So he was like that fool. Muslims are not going to observe, they came and killed you. You are sitting in puja. So Brahmin becoming king ultimately led to, but there have been great fighters. This 1857 revolution. Tata Tope, he was a Brahmin.
Yeah, Lakshmibai was a Brahmin.
Lakshmibai was fighting for her state, but for entire revolution, planning was by Tata Tope. So, Brahmins...
Mangal Pandey was a Brahmin.
Brahmins can become Kshatriyas. There was one Raghava Dada. He broke the Delhi Takhta, that is the Simhasan, he broke down, Muslim Simhasan. So they were great heroes. Atke Par, they used to say Atke Par. Atak is somewhere near Peshawar. So he went beyond Atak also. So that was the thing. Now, stories and story. Shivaji, like Shankaracharya, was a caste maker. He got farmers, shepherds, and made them Kshatriyas. Come with me, we shall fight. And they became Kshatriyas. Shankaracharya said, you are very good people, you are Brahmins. They became Brahmins. Swamiji has told this. Nobody to challenge you. Whole Jati says we are Brahmins, nobody can challenge them. So, these are historical facts. Anyway, so coming back to Parashuram, one misconception is gone that he did not kill all Kshatriyas. He killed Kshatriyas of the high Vangsha, of which Sahasrabahu was chief. Second out, we made our own guesswork 21 times, because children in the womb of the mother might come out and we grow, then he might be killing them. So in Bhagavata, Sridhar has not made any comment. Tri gunam yatha bhavati tatha sapta krutva saptavara anek saptavaran ekavishati varan iti artha. Varan means times. 3 times 7 means 21. That much Sridhar has given. That's all. Originally is 3 sapta, so he has explained it is 21. No other comment by Parashurama avataram aha avatara iti tri gunam yatha bhavati tata saptakrutta. 3 saptakrutta means 3 times 7. That much only has given. So rest, you understood now? Kshatriyas of Sahasrabahu dynasty, high Vangsha, he killed 21 times. Okay, now we proceed to 21. So we have got 16 avatars up till now. ततः सप्तदशे जातः सत्यवत्यां पराशरात् चक्रे वेदतरो शाखा दृष्ट्वा पुंसोऽल्पमेधसः. Alpamedasa punso drishtva, that is Kali-yuga Varnana. He says, seeing people with smaller intellect, less intellect, he divided the Vedas. So, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas is called the 17th incarnation.
Oh, Parashar Muni and Satyavati.
Parasharat Satyavatyam Jata. Now, who is this Satyavati? Did we discuss one day?
Fisherwoman.
Puranas will not agree. That I was telling. Terrible thing Puranas have told. Terrible thing. Somebody, hopeless story. You want to listen to those stories? What is Satyavati?
Satya means truth.
How Satyavati became fisherwoman? She was not a fisherwoman. That is a big story. Now, I got it. In the internet, everything will get. We will have as many stories as we can have in that connection. So, I had got that day, Satyavati. One full family tree is given in one place. Now take here. Satyavati is known as fisherman chief Dasharaja, and was brought up as a commoner on the banks of the river Yamuna. Another legend says that she is the biological daughter of Chedi king Uparichara Vasu. That day I saw all that thing. Vasu is Ashtavasu. Evidently, the name Uparichara is not there. So, Vasu is a family, like Bengali Basu. Bose is not separate. Bose is only Basu, Englishized. But Basu derived from Vasu. And Vasu means those who give the resident place to others. Vasu, Vasudev is also Vasu. So Vasu is a family name. So the name is Uparichara Vasu. Now, and a cursed Apsara who was turned into a fish called Adrika. Due to the smell emanating from her body, she was known as Matsyagandha and helped her father, that is Satyavati, Dasharaja, in his job as ferryman and fisherman. And some more story was there. Anyway, let it go. As a young woman, Satyavati met the wandering sage Parashara, who fathered her son Vyasa out of wedlock. That means he was not married. When did we discuss? No?
Little.
No, Swamiji said Vyasa of questionable parentage. That I remember. Brahmin marrying into fisherman. No, but this fisherman story, yellow. According to Harivansha, Satyavati in her previous life was Achoda, daughter of the Pitri's ancestors, and cursed to be born on earth. The Mahabharata, Harivansha, and Devi Bhagavata Purana assert that Satyavati was the daughter of a cursed Apsara named Adrika. Adrika was transformed by a curse into a fish and lived in the Yamuna river. According to the legend, Vasu, also known as Uparichara Vasu, a Chedi king, Chedi is a dynasty, was on a hunting expedition when he had a nocturnal emission while dreaming of his wife. You understand? He was in a hunting expedition. He was not in his palace. In the dream, his Virya came out. So, what he did, using an eagle, he sent his semen to his queen with the help of an eagle. But due to fighting mid-air with another eagle, the semen fell into the river and was swallowed by the cursed Adrika fish. Consequently, the fish became pregnant. Soon, a fisherman caught the pregnant fish and cut it open to find two babies in the womb of the fish, one male and one female. The fisherman presented the children to the king, who kept the male child. The boy grew up to become King Matsya, the founder of the Matsya kingdom. The king gave the female child back to the fisherman, naming her Matsya Gandha, one who smells like fish. The fisherman raised the girl as his daughter. Otherwise, she was not fisherman's daughter. And named her Kali, the dark one. Vyasa is very dark. Satyavati is also very dark because of her complexion. Over the course of time, Kali earned the name Satyavati, truthful. So this is an earned name. The fisherman was also a ferryman. Satyavati helped her father in the job and grew up into a beautiful maiden. The Devi Bhagavata Purana narrates that when Satyavati was ferrying the Rishi Parashar across the river Yamuna, the sage wanted Satyavati to satisfy his lust and held her right hand. She tried to dissuade Parashara, but finally gave in, realizing that the desperation and persistence of the sage gave in. Satyavati agreed and told Parashurama to be patient until the boat reached the bank. He wanted to cover in the boat itself. On reaching the other side, the sage grabbed her again, but she declared that her body stank. Smelling is there, and coitus should be pleasurable to them both. Coitus means sex act. At these words, Matsya-gandha was transformed by the powers of the sage into Yojana-gandha. She whose fragrance can be smelled from across a Yojana, 8 miles. She now smelled of musk, Kasturi, and so was called Kasturi-gandha. And Parashara transformed into fisherman and had intercourse with Satyavati, only to return her chastity again. That was her condition. Parashara had Rishi has the power, so she will again become virgin. He agreed. She asked Parashara to promise her that the coitus would be a secret and her virginity intact. The son born from their union would be as famous as the great sage like Parashara. And her fragrance and youth would be eternal. Parashara granted her these wishes and was satiated by the beautiful Satyavati. After the act, the sage bathed in the river and left, never to meet her again. The Mahabharata abridges the story, noting only two wishes for Satyavati, her virgo intact and everlasting sweet fragrance. Ecstatic with her blessing, Satyavati gave birth the same day to her baby. So strange everything. On an island in the Yamuna River. So island in the Yamuna River, not in ocean. The son immediately grew up as a youth and promised his mother that he would come to her aid every time she called on him. He then left to do penance in the forest. The son was called Krishna, the dark one, due to his color, or Dvaipayana, one born on the island, and would later become known as Vyasa. We discussed Vyasa that day. Compiler of the Vedas and author of the Puranas and the Mahabharata. Now Puranas were doubting. Mahabharata, all right. Fulfilling Parashara's prophecy that she has asked this boon that my son will become like you and all that. After this, Satyavati returned home to help her father. Then marriage with Shantanu, that we know. We know the story, no?
Yes, yes. To some extent.
If you want, you can read that. One day, Shantanu, the Kuru king of Hastinapur, came to the forest on a hunting trip and was mesmerized by the musk fragrance emanating from Satyavati. So that was issue. He was not Matsagandha at that time. Allured by her sweet scent, Shantanu reached Satyavati's house and seeing her fell in love at first sight. The king asked the fisherman chief for his daughter's hand. King means Shantanu. The fisherman, Dashraj, said his daughter would marry the king if and only if her sons would inherit the throne. That is her foster father's wish. The king, shocked and dejected, returned to the palace. Since he had already appointed his son Devavrata, who was mothered by goddess Ganga, as her heir apparent. Devavrata was distressed by his father's condition. He learned about the promise asked by the fisherman chief from a minister. Immediately, Devavrata rushed to the hut of the fisherman chief, and begged for Satyavati's hand on his father's behalf. The fisherman repeated the condition and told Devavrata that only Shantanu was worthy of Satyavati. She had rejected marriage proposals from even Brahma rishis like Asita. My story. Devavrata renounced his claim to the throne in favor of Satyavati's son. But the fisherman contended that Devavrata's children might dispute his grandson's claim. Intensely, Devavrata pledged the terrible vow of brahmacharya, celibacy. The fisherman immediately gave Satyavati to Devavrata, who was henceforth called Bhishma. Devavrata was called Bhishma, the one whose vows are terrible. Bhishma presented Satyavati to Shantanu, who married her. In the Devi Bhagavata Purana, Satyavati's premarital firstborn Vyasa laments that his mother abandoned him to fate immediately after birth. He returns to his birthplace in search of his mother also. He finds out he is now the queen of Hastinapur. Enough, na? You want more stories?
I want, but the other listeners are there.
Vyasa's Niyoga, you know that? No. Birth of children and grandchildren. After their marriage, Satyavati bore Shantanu two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. The Harivansha tells of Bhishma recalling events after Shantanu's death. During the period of mourning after Shantanu's death, Ugra Yuddha Paurava demanded that Bhishma hand over Satyavati in return for wealth. Bhishma killed that king who had lost his powers because he lusted after another's wife. However, the Mahabharata does not include this event. It only describes Bhishma crowning Chitrangada as king under Satyavati's command. Chitrangada was later killed by a namesake Gandharva. Chitrangada is a Gandharva also, and he killed this Chitrangada. After Chitrangada's death, his young mother, his younger brother, Shantanu is already dead. His young brother, Vichitravirya, was crowned king, while Bhishma ruled on his behalf under Satyavati's command until Vichitravirya grew up. He was small. Vichitravirya married the princess of Kashi, Koshala, Ambika and Ambalika, who were won by Bhishma in a Swayamvar. He simply pulled those and took away. The childless Vichitravirya met with an untimely death from tuberculosis. So he is also gone. His wives only are there. And Satyavati wants her progeny only as the kings. So what to do? With no heir to the throne, Satyavati asked Bhishma to marry the widows of Vichitravirya, following the practice of Niyoga in its narrower sense, as a levirate marriage, and rule as king. Bhishma refused, reminding Satyavati of the promise he made to his father and his vow of bachelorship. He suggests that a Brahmin could be hired to father children on the widows, thus preserving the dynasty. Revealing to Bhishma the tale of her encounter with Parashara, Satyavati well knew that this was the time to call her son. Vyasa told, whenever you want me, I will come. Vyasa to aid her. Satyavati coaxed Vyasa to have Niyoga with his brother's widows, saying, from affection for the brother Vichitravirya, for the perpetuation of our dynasty, for the sake of Bhishma's request and my command, for kindness to all creatures, so many reasons she has given, for the protection of the people, and from the liberality of thy heart, O sinless one, it behoveth thee to say, after convincing Vyasa, Satyavati managed with great difficulty to obtain the consent of her virtuous daughters-in-law. In the Mahabharata, Vyasa agreed immediately to the Niyoga. In the Devi Bhagavata Purana version, Vyasa initially refused Satyavati's proposal. He argued that Vichitravirya's wives were like his daughters. Having Niyoga with them was a heinous sin, through which no good would come. As a master of real politics, the hungry for grandson Satyavati was a great politician, asserted that to preserve the dynasty, wrong directives by elders should be followed if they are going to reduce the sorrow of a mother. I want them, so do it. Vyasa finally agreed to that disgusting task, but suggested that offspring of perversity cannot be a source of joy. Gwalior. During the fertile period of the older Queen Ambika, Fertile period, you know that. Satyavati sent Vyasa to Ambika's bedchamber. During coitus with Vyasa, Ambika noticed his dark complexion and closed her eyes. Vyasa declared to Satyavati that due to Ambika's cruelty, her son would be blind, but strong, and have 100 sons, later known as Kauravas, descendants of Kuru. Satyavati considered such an heir to be an unworthy king, Dhritarashtra. So she asked Vyasa to have niyoga with her younger daughter-in-law. During their niyoga, Ambika fell pale due to Vyasa's grim appearance. As a result, the child would be whitish, pale. Vyasa told his mother, who begged for another child. Pandu is white color. Vyasa told his mother, who begged for another child. In due course, the blind Dhritarashtra and the pale Pandu were born. Satyavati again invited Vyasa to Ambika's bedchamber. She remembered Vyasa's grim appearance, repulsive odor, and substituted a Shudra maid in her place. The maid respected the sage and was not afraid of him, and Vyasa thus blessed her. Her son would be the most intelligent man, and she would no longer be a slave. Vyasa told Satyavati of the deception and then disappeared. Satyavati wanted him again. He said, no, 3 times I obeyed you, now I will never.
Any Vidur.
Vidura, an incarnation of the god Dharma, was born to the maid. That's all. Now, last days of Satyavati. Consequently, due to Dhritarashtra's blindness and Vidura's birth from a maid, Pandu was crowned the king of Hastinapur. However, he was cursed by a sage that he could not bear any children, renounced the kingdom. You know, that sage and his wife took the form of some other species. So, he was cursed by a sage that he could not bear any children. Renounced the kingdom and went to the forest with his wives Kunti and Madri. There his wives had children, the Pandavas, or sons of Pandu, for him through niyoga with the gods. Pandu died in the forest. Madri ended her life with her husband, Sati. Kunti returned to Hastinapur with the Pandavas. Satyavati was grief-stricken because of her grandson's untimely death and did not wish to live any longer. After the funeral rites for Pandu, Vyasa warned Satyavati that happiness would end in the dynasty and devastating events would occur in the future, leading to the destruction of the race, which she would not be able to bear in her old age. At Vyasa's suggestion, Satyavati left for the forest to do penance with her daughters-in-law Ambika and Ambalika. In the forest, she died and attained heaven. Within some days, her daughter-in-law died too. ये पूरा सत्यवती की स्टोरी है. और जहाँ वेरियंस है वहां दोनों बताते जा रहे. महाभारत में ऐसा है, देवी भागवत में ऐसा है, हरिवंश में ऐसा है. ठीक है, ये पूरा स्टोरी हुआ. Now here, Satyavatyam Parashara. So that much is all right. But under these conditions, that she made it condition that her virginity should be restored. And her son would be like you, Parashara. So Vyas became a great sage. So what did Vyasa do? Chakre Vedataro Shakha Drishtva Punso Alpamedasa Punso Alpamedasa Drishtva Vedataro Shakha Chakre. Veda is compared to a tree, and from tree he made branches. Shakha Chakre. Chakre means did. So Vyasa divided the Veda tree into branches, seeing that people have become of less intelligence. Now that story is not agreeable to me. Because all his disciples were very strong. Vedas was a growing literature. And in those days, writing was not available. So by memory it has to be kept. And so he gave to 4 disciples and told them to, with the help of their disciples, they should keep the memory of these Vedas. That is the story known to us. And that name sometimes we refer to. He divided the Vedas on what basis? That is not given here. You know that? Poetry, Rig Veda. Prose, Yajurveda. Now, some poetry is can be made into songs. So that is Samveda. And Atharva Veda was discovered much later. Atharva Angirasa बोला ना, that Brahma Devanam Pratama Sambhavuva Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta Sa Brahma Vidya Sarvavidyam Pratishtam Atharvaya Jeshta Putraya Prabha. Brahma himself taught Atharva, his eldest son. So that became Atharva Veda. And about these 4 Vedas, they became 5. Because Vaishampayana's chief disciple was Yajnavalkya. And some mistake happened from Vaishampayana. So he asked his disciples, meaning that you all should do penance for my sake. Yajnavalkya said, what all these will do? I will myself do. He said this out of confidence and to honor his father, to honor his guru. But Vaishampayana became angry on him. You are insulting my other disciples. Return the knowledge I have given to you. So they say he vomited that knowledge. And the other disciples, in the form of Tittiri birds, suck up that. So it is called Krishna Yajurveda or Taittiriya Shakha. Now Yajnavalkya has no knowledge, but he is a very great sage. So he worshipped sun. Sun is actually another cosmic form of Brahma like. But he worshipped sun and got all the knowledge. Because it was from a bright sun and fresh knowledge, it is called Shukla Yajurveda. And Shukla Yajurveda has nothing to do with Krishna Yajurveda. So actually Vedas are 5. Anyway, so this is how Vyasa divided. Now, Punso Alpamedasa. So, this is contradicted. He had grades. Veda was growing literature and writing was not available, so everything has to be kept in memory. And so he divided into 4 people. Swamiji has said if the Vedas all were available, it would fill a big library. So that is lost. Okay? So then, how many? 17. Huh? 22. Naradevattvamapanna surakarya samudra nigrahadini chakre viryani atah param. Ramavatar is not named. Naradevatvam apanna. So Rama is mentioned as Devmanav, Naradev. We sing for Thakur, Naradeva Dev, Jai Jai. So that is Rama's speciality as against Krishna, as against Krishna's stories which you know. Rama always says, I am a man, but he is a god. So Naradevattvamapanna, he became man god. You know that story? After he killed Ravana, he asked Sita to be brought and told Sita, you go with anybody you like. I have nothing to do with you. My duty was to redeem my pledge, and that insult has to be avenged. Our Kula Maryada has to be kept. So I killed Ravana. But you stayed in this palace for 1 year. I don't want you. You go with anybody you like, Vibhishan, Sugriva, or anybody. That is what Rama said.
In Valmiki Ramayana.
Yes. Then Sita was extremely disturbed that I have not thought of anybody by word, mind, or deed except Rama. So she ordered Lakshmana. Lakshmana always used to obey. Put a fire for me. I don't want. I want to burn this body, which Rama is doubting. Swamiji has used an expression from Valmiki Ramayana. Hanuman was disturbed and he said, Ko Rama. You have heard that Ko Rama? It is in this context. Hanuman Sudgar. Hanuman was devoted to Sita much more and he has seen her purity because he wanted to carry her. Sita said, no, I will not touch anybody. Ravana forced me, so what could I do? But deliberately I will not touch you. So he knew Sita's purity like anything. He said, who is Rama to order this? That is what he said. Then Rama looked at him. Rama is obedient, he kept quiet. But first he said, Ko Rama. So Swamiji had said this in connection with Holy Mother. That when I think of Holy Mother, I say Ko Rama. So that is this Ko Rama. Then Lakshmana obeyed, made a fire. At that point, all the gods led by Brahma came there. And Brahma asked Rama, don't you know who you are? Rama said, yes, I know. Right down. Atmanam manusham manne. Atmanam manusham manne. Ramam Dasharathatmajam. No, sorry. Rama Dasharathatmaja. Atmanam Ramam will go. So I take myself to be a man. My name is Rama. I am the son of Dasharatha. So, do you know what you are? This is what I am. So I will follow what a man should follow. So Naradev, he never asserted, I am God, I am God, I am God. He was God. His deeds shall prove that he was God. Kharadushan, when Shurpanaka came and woman should not be killed, so Rama told Lakshmana disfigure her. So he sliced her nose and ears. Kharadushana were her brothers, Ravana's brothers, living in that forest. So she went shouting to them. And they came to 14,000 Rakshasas. Khara and Dushan came to fight with Rama. Rama told Lakshmana, you protect Sita in the cave, I shall single-handedly manage them. And he killed 1,400 people with Khara and Dushan. So such deeds prove that he was not a man.
Khara Dushana Mukha Sudaka Ram.
Khara Dushana Mukha Sudaka Ram.
What is Mukha?
Mukha means Mukha or Pramukha.
Men.
No, 14,000 of whom Khara and Dushana were the men. Sudaka means killing. So that is the story. And how he killed Ravana. So before that, Vishwamitra took Ram and Dasharatha sent Lakshmana also with him when he was a young boy. Just finished education under Vasishtha. And Vishwamitra said, I am doing yajna and these Rakshasas are disturbing, and so long as I am vowed for yajna, I should not use power to kill them. So send Rama to protect. Dasharatha was not agreeing. Then Vasishtha said, you give him, Rama will benefit from this. So there Subahu and Maricha were there. And they came with their followers. They used to throw blood, bones or anything into that fire. So Rama, with the help of Lakshmana, created a chhatra by arrows. Nothing could pierce it or come down. So like that value. And he hit one bow and Subahu fell down. Maricha did not kill, but he hit him with an arrow that he came and fell in Ravana's kingdom. Such distance. So Ravana used that Maricha to deliver Sita, Rama, that golden deer. Maricha was refusing. Ravana said, I will kill you. He thought it is better to be killed by Rama than by Ravana. And so he agreed. That is the whole story. Okay? So here Rama's name he has not given. Naradevatvam, for that I explained all this. Very similar to Valmiki Ramayana's Naradev is Leela Prasanga by Sardan Swami. And he has always said Dev Manav, Dev Manav, Dev Manav. Not 50-50. Fully Dev in fully Manav, body and mind. So that is similar. Purpose is similar because Tulsidas does not want such a thing. He wants people should cultivate Rama Bhakti. So his Rama is Dev throughout, no Manav. And then so many anomalies come in that. He does not want Sita to be touched by Ravana. So entering forest, without the knowledge of Lakshmana, Rama deposited Sita with Agni Devata. And Agni Devata gave him a shadow Sita, Maya Sita in Badle. And for Maya Sita is weeping and all that. That is not a guilt. And at that Agni Pariksha, that Maya Sita entered into fire and old Sita, real Sita, Agni Devata gave to Rama. That is a Tulsidasa story.
কখন কখন ওই চেঞ্জটা হয়েছিল? কখন ওই চেঞ্জ হয়েছিল? মায়া সীতা থাকলো আর অগ্নি দেবতা কখন ওই চেঞ্জটা করলেন?
Entering the forest without Lakshmana's knowledge.
Acha, Holy Mother, when she did Panchatapa, Holy Mother, she sat on the fire.
So Tulsidasa's thing is bogus. His aim is different, na? His aim is that people should have bhakti for Rama. So man is not doing it. I don't know what Kritivasi has done. Because in Tamil Nadu there is Kambaramayana. And he said Ravana lifted Sita along with the earth. That is how he has avoided touching Sita. But Valmiki has no such thing. He is a Rakshasa. He touched. So touch is not physical. That is the main thing. Now Professor Ramnarayan is hearing. In Leela Prasanga, it is mentioned that Thakur went to Kalimandir telling Holy Mother, you sweep my room. Now she is busy sweeping with her back to the door. Thakur enters, intoxicated like, and pushes her. And pushing her says, have I drunk wine? So when I narrated this, Professor Ramnarayan said, how it is possible? Thakur will never touch woman. Thakur will never touch Sarada Devi. So this touch is understood in a gross sense. That is what I want.
Yes, another thing, Ravan said, it is maybe in Kathaprita, that somebody said you take the form of Ram and then...
And that is story, another story. Ravana was told, you are taking so many forms to delude Sita, why not take the form of Rama? He said, if I take the form of Rama, then Tilottama Rama, all will be trash to me. What about Parapurusha Nari? Why will I feel attracted? So
it is there in...
there are hundreds of Puranic stories to illustrate Veda's principle. Again and again, we are telling. We need not take any Puranic story literally. But here, the relevant things I am telling. So, Naradevatvam, for that explanation. Apanna. So, how only one person could manage to vow and marriage and their truths? So, everywhere his divinity will come out. So many beautiful stories are there, you know. When he was crowned, no, he was not crowned, but Dashratha wanted him to start helping in his governance. So he said, I will take blessings from Praja first. So that was something very new, democratic. He went to all the leaders of the Praja and I seek your blessings because my father has asked me to help in ruling the kingdom. So they were stunned and said, such Raja we have never seen. He wants our blessings. So Rama has infinite qualities. So, Sura Karya Chakirshaya, desiring God's work. God's work is to kill Ravana. God's work is to establish Dharma. Samudra Nigrahadini, Adi is there. So building, controlling the ocean. Nigraha means controlling ocean. No, that is great stories. He prayed 3 days, fasted at the bank of the ocean. Please give us some way. Now, ocean in its arrogance said no. Rama said, by one arrow I will dry you up totally. Then he, no. If you dry up, then all the jalacharas will die. Rama said, I want a bridge, I want a way to go through. He said, you don't know that this Nala or Nila, they are divine, sons of the divine architect, and they can build a bridge for you. It is he who suggested. And they never revealed.
Samudra suggested.
Bridge. They did not brag that we are such, we are such. But when it was told, they agreed. And all the monkeys started bringing big, big boulders, and they would put it in the ocean, and they would float. Another story is there depending on that. Arjuna was roaming here and there. And Maruti, without Arjuna's knowledge, was sitting near that bridge. And Arjuna said, I am the greatest archer. Maruti said, no, Rama is the greatest archer. Then Maruti said, if he was the greatest archer, why he did not construct a bridge by arrows? Why use stone? Then Maruti said, we were so huge monkeys that one jump, the bridge would go if it is arrows. Arjuna said, I will bridge. So he made a bridge by arrows. And Hanuman jumped and that bridge was destroyed. So Arjuna's pride about being the greatest archer was destroyed there. These are the stories.
So who are from the lunar dynasty and solar dynasty? Solar dynasty and lunar dynasty. Who?
Rama is solar dynasty
And Krishna is
lunar dynasty. Anyway, okay. Samugra Nigraha Adini. So Adini may include all these heroisms. And his ideal character. You know how Valmiki Ramayana was made? Valmiki, you know that story, that birds and some hunter killed one bird. So poetry came out of Valmiki's mouth. So Narada told him that he said, what should I do with a new thing has come to me, new power? He said, you have to establish Adarsha in the society. Then he said, shall I imagine some Adarsha? He said, no. Don't you know Rama? And 100 shlokas Narada told Valmiki about Rama's character. They are included in Valmiki Ramayana. In our matriculation, that was a book, Mool Ramayana. 100 shlokas which Narada told Valmiki. Then he said, you have Rishitva, you see what will happen in future and study in details and write his life. That is how Valmiki Ramayana was made. Okay? Enough stories. We have crossed our time. So, Samudra Nigrahadini Viryani. Viryani means heroism works. Chakre Viryan Ataparam. So after this, Ataparam is after this. He did Samudra Manthanadini Naradevatam Sura Karya Chikirshaya. So we have explained every word here. Devamanav. Sridhar says it is Rama Raghava Rupena Naradevatvam Raghava Rupena Praptasan Ata Param Ashtadashe. Ata Param is after 17. 17 has been described. Ata Param refers to that. After that, 18th. 18th is Naradeva Ram. Okay? Om Janmadhyasya Yatonvayaditarata Charte Shavidnaswarat Tene Brahmaridaya Adikavaye Muyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Varimrudam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hare Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So we had many stories. Okay. Because stories are meant to illustrate now.